Hello everyone and welcome back. In this video we're diving into split fiction to uncover all achievements, hidden benches and side stories throughout the game. If you're aiming for 100% completion, this guide will help you find every achievement requirement, secret bench location and optional side story so you don't miss anything during your playthrough. If you enjoy cinematic gameplay and completion guides, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more gaming content. At the top of the screen you can see what chapter and sub-chapter we're in. So chapter 2, Play Me Techno and the first side story. The legend of the SANDFISH is hard to miss as it's introduced with a cutscene. Now, here is what you can expect when you jump in. The vibe? You're being pulled into this gritty, sand-filled world that feels like a classic action-adventure game. The core challenge, it's heavily focused on cooperative mechanics. You and your partner have to time your dashes and movements perfectly because the sandfish, these undead, shark-like creatures, are lurking just beneath the surface. The strategy. To actually clear it, you'll need to use a thumping instrument to lure those creatures away. This creates an opening for your partner to cross those deadly patches of sinking sand safely. It's the perfect way to get a feel for how the game handles these optional challenges, emphasizing communication and tight timing right from the start. As you progress through the chapter, you'll reach the point where the player on the left needs to pass a gravity bomb to player 2. Player 2 then uses it to blow up a glass window to advance to the next platform. Once player 2 reaches the platform, they'll notice a glass bridge directly above them. Player 1 needs to pass another bomb over, but instead of moving forward, player 2 just needs to aim and throw that second bomb directly up at that glass bridge. Once the glass shatters, the achievement pops. Just a little bit later on after you join back up, for the second achievement in chapter 2, we're looking at Rose's best friend. It's right there in the same sub-level, Play Me Techno. As you progress through the level, do not go to the tunnel on the left and keep an eye out for a giant stuffed elephant. It's actually a direct reference to It Takes Two. It's sitting right there on the storefront of a toy store. This one is simple but a bit destructive. You just need to use Zoe's whip ability to tear that stuffed elephant. Once it's ripped to shreds, the achievement, Rose's best friend, pops up for you. As you progress through the main path, you'll reach a point where you must use an elevator on the left. Instead of taking the elevator, look to the right side to find a bubble portal that leads to the FARMLIFE side story number 2. You're essentially in a farm-themed zone which involves a series of small puzzles, primarily centered around collecting apples to unlock doors and navigate through barn-like structures. After you exit the first barn where you start the side story, you will enter a large, muddy field where you can spot on the left a massive, sleeping hog lying in the mud. As Mio, approach the pig and use your fart ability to launch yourself directly into its belly, which triggers a brief, hilarious cutscene where the giant pig passes gas. The GOIN whole hog achievement will pop immediately afterward for both players. Also inside the FARMLIFE side story, progress through the level by collecting the 3 apples required to open the final doors. After you open the final door, you will see a brick house standing directly in front of you. Have Mio move around to the back of the brick house, where a large target is visible on the wall, and use the ability to charge into or fart on that target. The house will be destroyed, mirroring the classic Big Bad Wolf story, and the Huffing and Puffing achievement will unlock. Close to the very beginning of sub-chapter called Big City Life, we can find the first of our 6 benches that will get you at the end the achievement Sisters, a Tale of Two Besties. You will see a modern city bench placed right at the edge of the balcony. It is positioned specifically to give you a clear panoramic view of the flickering neon lights and the towering architecture of the city. Once both you and your partner sit down, the camera will pan out to highlight the view and the animation will play. As you continue through the neon-drenched city streets, you'll get on this platform where there is a lot of traffic and you'll have to use the pod to throw your partner over the gap, but instead have player 2 toss it behind them to unlock side story number 3, Mountain Hike. After you finish the side story number 3, you can actually pass the gap and enter the hotel where you'll find a robot receptionist at the entry. In order to get the Robot Revolution achievement, you have to beat up the receptionist until his face changes. Next achievement is earned by successfully completing the in-game verification challenge that mimics a CAPTCHA-style puzzle. During this sequence, the game asks the player to prove they are not a robot by interacting with a series of prompts that test observation and timing. First you have to skip the first photo, then select the lower 4 corners in the next image, skip again the next image, tick all boxes, decline the call, tick the boxes again and click on terms and conditions. Then next, 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 then accept, deactivate self-destruction, type the message, but make sure you select the correct word as the phone tries to autocorrect. While the motorcycle part is easy, player 2 has approximately 1 minute to complete this. This is one of the most difficult achievements, so you'll probably not get it after your first try. Once you finish the challenge correctly, the You Are Not a Robot achievement will unlock immediately. As you move through chapter 3, right at the very beginning of the Underlands sub-level, you will find a small playground style area off to the right side of the path, near the edge of the cliff. You will notice a solitary swing set standing there. In order to unlock the achievement, have Zoe walk up to the swing set and interact with it to sit down, while Mio will switch to her monkey form. Approach the back of the swing and use your attack interaction button to punch or push the swing to trigger the A Friendly Push achievement. As you progress through the Lord Evergreen section, you will reach a river crossing where you have to jump across several poles. Instead of following the main path to the left, look to your right. You will see a wooden platform. You need to perform a wall run and a swing to reach the bubble portal tucked away in the corner in order to access the next side mission, Train HEIST. Side story number 5, called GAMESHOW, can be found in chapter 3, Hopes of Spring, sub-level, Walking Stick of Doom. After crossing the large wooden bridge, don't follow the main path to the right. Look to the left, and after passing all the wooden bridges, you will find the neon-lit portal that leads to the GAMESHOW arena. The GAMESHOW is a hidden side story where the characters are transported into a surreal television-style game show hosted by an over-the-top announcer. The environment resembles a brightly lit studio filled with platforms, moving hazards, countdown timers, and audience sound effects. Round 1. Practice Throw. The first round begins as a simple introduction to the show's main mechanic. One of the players is handed a ticking explosive object known as the potato. The host explains the rules in dramatic fashion. The potato must be passed between players before the timer runs out. As the countdown begins, the stage forces both players to move quickly across small platforms while tossing the potato back and forth to keep it from detonating. The round is fairly forgiving, acting as a warm-up while the host builds tension and excitement. Round 2. Warm-up. The official game begins here. It is a straightforward path from point A to point B. Players must simply keep passing the bomb while moving toward the finish line container. Round 3. A glass partition is placed between the players. To pass the bomb, both players must time their jumps onto green jump circles to arc the bomb over the wall and into their partner's hands. Round 4. The difficulty spikes as environmental traps are introduced. You must navigate platforms that are periodically covered in firewalls or burning floors while maintaining the rhythmic passing of the bomb.
What's better than a game show? Game show on fire!
Round 5. The tank chase. A tank enters the arena and actively chases whichever player is currently holding the bomb. Success requires rapid passing to shift the tank's focus and keep it away from the player trying to platform. For this round, it is recommended to run diagonally as far as possible from the tank. Round 6. The most complex standard round combines moving platforms with fire hazards. You must time your jumps carefully and use character movement abilities to cross gaps while the bomb's fuse gets shorter.
My show goes perfect with Friday Night Tacos.
Final round, Showdown. Technically the 7th stage, this is the climax where the announcer becomes the target. Players must navigate a final gauntlet of diagonal jumps and death platforms to reach the announcer's giant monitor head. Once there, you must work together to open a panel and drop one last bomb inside to destroy the host and finish the side story. To earn the Cold Potato achievement, you must complete the entire game show sequence without a single bomb explosion. This requires perfect coordination between both players, as any mistake that triggers the game over screen for the minigame will void the achievement.
I thought game shows were supposed to be family friendly.
Nah, I don't do snooze fests.
Oh, you've made that quite clear.
You can complete the next achievement at the very beginning of the Halls of Ice section, where you will walk up a large set of stairs. Once you reach the top, look to the left side of the balcony, railing before crossing the bridge toward the palace. You will see a snowman standing near the railing, with 3 large snowballs sitting on the ground next to it. As Mio, interact with the snowballs to pick them up and throw all 3 of them over the railing into the open air. As you throw the 3rd snowball, a bird will happen to be flying across the sky in the distance. The final snowball will hit the bird, causing it to fall. After you pass through the large frost gate and enter the castle, do not go to the front door yet. Instead, walk to the far left side of the courtyard, behind a big tree, and you will find a second bench. Just wait for the cutscene and then you can cancel and move on. During chapter 3, while progressing through the main level, instead of following the obvious route forward, move toward the side of the environment where broken platforms and environmental props suggest another possible direction. The path leads to a small platforming section that feels slightly detached, where you'll find the Collapsing Star side story. To find the Kite's side story in chapter 4, Final Dawn, specifically during the Toxic Tumblers mission, progress through the level until you reach an area filled with giant steel cylinders rotating over a pool of toxic sludge. Use the rotating cylinders as platforms to jump across the first part of the toxic area. Once you reach the solid platform after the first set of cylinders and straight ahead, you will see the side story portal. One of the next sub-chapters is called Test Chamber, where you can find side story number 8. Progress the story until you reach the large rotating platform. Instead of going right, continue straight ahead, use the guns to open the doors, continue on the moving pedestals, and at the top you'll find side story number 8, Moon Marked, where additional achievements are available. First achievement that we're looking for here is Share the Load, and in order to do that, once you enter the gates, one player needs to go left and look for the wand shop, pick up the wand and take it to the other player, use the wand until the player transforms into a chair, and sitting on it will unlock the achievement. Additionally here, based on the recipe board on the right, you need to create all 6 recipes. You'll get transformed into all sorts of things, but you can cancel them until you drink all 6 potions in order to unlock Potion Chef achievement. Next, in chapter 4, Run and Gun subchapter, we can unlock the Cake is Not a Lie achievement. After destroying the turret, there will be some portals where you can find a secret area very well hidden. So, in order to find it, while jumping in the portals, you'll have to jump off the wall and jump back to unlock the achievement. One of the next side stories can be found in the Soaring Desperados subchapter called Notebook. Use the jetpack to double jump and avoid the spiral chainsaw, and you'll find it right on the small platform on the left. A little after that, in Soaring Desperados, you'll complete a series of puzzles through some obstacles. At the end of those puzzles, you remove the jetpacks and open the doors in front of you. Go through the doors, and the far left close to the big window you can find the third bench of the game.
I just need a minute. Yeah. Kicking Mecha sure is exhausting. Yes, that's not the reason. I know.
Next, in chapter 5, play through the level until you complete the longboat section. Immediately after this, Mio and Zoe will be forced to split up to progress. After splitting, both players will walk directly past a bush with red fruit located on their respective main paths. Approach the bush and press the interaction button to take a snack in order to unlock the achievement, Feed Me. A little later on, you'll join again with your partner and take the big stone elevator. instead of going in front where the two big golden balls are, go to the left and complete a puzzle to reach side story number 10, Slopes of War.
We'll be right back, cutie pies.
Ready?
Ready.
Then, during Water Temple, you'll need to progress using the water wheels to guide each other. While the left player jumps on the hook, the right player will jump on the veins in order to rejoin and find the bench number 4 inches the game.
All right. Let's press on. Let's. I'm curious. How come you only write fantasy?
Because it's awesome?
Sure. But why?
Well,
At the beginning of Craft Temple subchapter, we can find side story 11 out of 12. You'll have to team up and use each player's abilities to progress in order to reach the top and access the side story Space Escape.
you guys get a quick rest. We'll be right back.
All set?
All set.
Next, in Treasure Temple subchapter, right at the very beginning, after rolling the purple crystals, instead of continue the main story straight ahead, go left to discover side story number 12, Birthday Cake. With this bag, the last side story, Bookworms trophy will now be unlocked.
Any idea of what's in this one?
No clue.
In Chapter 6, during Hydration Facility, there is a fun hidden trophy called We're Gonna Need a Bigger Boat. While using the boat to move the marble around the area, search near a dead-end section before leaving. There are bubbles in the water that hint something is nearby. Approach them and the hidden event plays out, awarding the trophy. While guiding the marble character through a large gap under enemy pressure, that player can spot a box. Climb inside the box, then use the turret interaction to blast it. The trophy is an obvious nod to stealth game cardboard box antics, but it is still easy to miss if you are too focused on surviving the combat section. In the Waste Depot subchapter, after both players regroup at the top of a ramp near a container, look beside the container for bench number 5. It is very close to the main route, but because the container draws the eye, many players keep moving and forget to check around it. In the cell blocks section, there is a trophy called Tased and Confused. Here, one character uses magnet-based protection, while the other hacks a robot and manipulates a pole mechanism. The trophy does not come from simply extending the pole. You need to sweep it in a way that knocks down the other character. That specific interaction is what the game wants, so do not settle for just using the mechanic normally. Later, in maximum security, you will eventually reach an area where left and right routes both seem valid. Once one player reaches the far side and helps the other catch up, look for a jail cell with a control panel before proceeding. To unlock the locked up trophy, one player must go inside the cell while the other uses the control panel to shut them in. It is another Hazelight style reference trophy and a very easy one to miss if you just keep advancing after regrouping. Finally, in Chapter 7, Mosaic of Memories, you can collect the 6th and last bench. After climbing a chain and reaching the hallway with the light shard traversal section, continue through the puzzle and you will find the final bench ahead. Interact with it and let the scene begin properly. This should unlock the full bench collectible achievement, Sisters, A Tale of Two Besties, assuming the previous 5 benches were also collected. Once all the side stories are done, the benches are complete, and the missable trophies are handled, the only thing left is to finish the game. Completing the final credits sequence gives you the last achievement tied to seeing the journey through to the end. On PlayStation, that also means your platinum if everything else has been cleaned up. That is the full route for 100% completion in Split Fiction. If you follow this in order, you should be able to collect every side story, every bench and every missable trophy without needing much cleanup afterward. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. If you found this guide helpful, consider subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate the support and I'll see you in the next video.